Design portion, so fall of freshman year, you go into hand-drawn engineering graphics. So you learn how to do 1D, 2D, perspective, orthographic, all of that. And then you also get to do the basics of modeling. That's my favorite part, is like just getting a bunch of random cardboard and hot gluing it together until it looks like something. And then starting the following semester, you also get into CAD. That's what we're doing right now. So computer-aided design, and you learn foundations of that as well. We do have quite a few of our Boettchers up here have participated or are currently in Thorson first year. So Jesse, Sydney, Joe, Armando, Griff, all of those guys are participating. So if you, not Joe, sorry Joe. So I just lump you in with everybody else. So if you do have questions about that, these guys are probably a little bit less biased than me since I teach it, so they can give you a real look at it. We also have the McBride Honors Program, which starts your sophomore year. So this is kind of another opportunity to start to integrate the language arts into a STEM degree. We call it a STEAM initiative. And so McBride is very unique in the way that the faculty have to apply to teach the McBride classes. So anytime you're taking a McBride class, you know that the faculty are passionate about what they are teaching because they have gone out of their way to apply to teach the class. I'm taking a class right now that's conflict and catharsis, and so it's looking at wars of the 20th century and how it impacted literature, media, music, all that kind of thing. And I love it because this is so completely different than any of my technical classes, and so I really relish that change. We also have something involved with this called a practicum, and this is an opportunity for students to, we kind of call it a make your own adventure with McBride. And so really, and I mean this quite literally, anything you could possibly want to do, as long as you can justify how it will enhance your education, you can pretty much do it and receive funding to do that. I had the opportunity to start an honor society here on campus, which McBride fully backed up. And then I also had the opportunity to travel to Cape Town, South Africa last summer to do a leadership summit out there. And again, that was fully funded. We've had students do research, do typical study abroads, stay and work on different things that they're passionate about, go and teach. We've had students actually go study and research in Antarctica, so literally anywhere in the world you can go, and they can at least give you some amount of funding for most of it. So definitely something to consider.
Hi everybody. So I'm Daniel, if you haven't met me or had a chance to talk to me today. I am a master's student in computer science here at Mines. I finished up my undergraduate degree in December, and so I'm still with the Boettcher Scholarship, and it's a great group of people. And I'm going to talk a little bit about professional opportunities here at Mines, because that's very important to Mines as a community. So to start off with, we have undergraduate research. I think this is a great way to get really invested into your passions within your degree program. So I personally have worked with the Minds at Minds Lab. And so we specialize in machine learning and bioinformatics. And what that means is that we have a team that takes a large data set of information on Alzheimer's patients and then uses machine learning to predict the progress of their disease so that we can better anticipate their needs. And so there are research opportunities across all majors, in all departments, across a very wide variety of subjects. So my advice, if you come to Mines and want to get into research, is to talk to your professors and see what they specialize in, because many of your professors will lead research groups into the areas that they're passionate about, whether that's I know that we have a group on campus that is separating E. coli bacteria so that they can pick apart all of it and then find all the proteins that they need to develop drugs. And then there are other research groups on campus that are doing visualizations of large data sets, and other research groups looking at data security. So it's definitely an opportunity that is very, very interesting, that you can get involved in, and it's also something that looks really good in the resume as you go into applying for jobs, shows you have some real world experience, and it's also a lot of fun. So yeah.
So career fair, Casey Turner first off.
So the career fair is one of the most distinguishable aspects about mines. So we have 2 of them, one in the spring and one in the fall. And it's actually, the numbers are up to 368 companies looking for mines. They're specifically coming to the hire, usually for internships, but possibly jobs too, for the mine students. So just this year, the career fair was directly responsible for over 1,200 interviews of all our students. So it's a great opportunity, and even if you're a freshman, you might not have the resume to get some of it, but it's a great experience for networking and general just ability to get interviews. So that's a great aspect about mines and something that sets us apart from a lot of other schools.
So field session is always field session is also a very unique thing to mines. So field session is different across all majors. So if you are interested in a specific field session, I would just suggest talking to one of these guys. We pretty much have almost every single major covered between all of us. So basically field session is just an opportunity to get to go and do something in the field of your study. So not only can you put on your resume has field experience, which is really important, but you also get the opportunity to kind of test the waters a little bit and see if you're really doing the right thing. I loved my field session. I got to go work with all the heavy machinery that we have down in our workshops, and I thought that was a blast, and so that kind of solidified mechanical engineering for me. But again, it's different, so if you would like to know more about that stuff, we can either get you connected with somebody who's more knowledgeable than maybe one of us, or we'll be able to tell you about that too.
I'm back. Okay, I'm going to talk about the arts at mines because this is something that I'm really passionate about and that I do a lot of work for. I am an editor for the arts and culture section of the Mines student newspaper, The Ordigger. I'm an actor and director for Mines Little Theater, and I am going to be published in our arts and culture journal.
High grade.
High grade, that's the name. There we go. So I'm going to talk about Mines Little Theater because this is where a lot of my time goes, and I love it. So I think theater is something that everybody should have a little bit of experience in, even if you're not super passionate about theater. It's excellent public speaking practice, and then if you decide to go into directing instead of acting, it's excellent leadership and organizational practice. It also builds a really good sense of community because you end up spending a lot of time with the people in your theater group. And so with Mines Little Theater, we usually do 4 shows a year and then showcase events. And we also sometimes try to integrate the things we do in our engineering side into what we do with theater. So this past semester, I got a grant from the Boettcher Foundation to do integrated lighting in some of our costume designs for our production of She Kills Monsters, which we didn't get the pictures back from that show until literally this morning, so I didn't have a chance to put any of them in this. But being able to say that I took my passion in engineering and applied it to what I do in theater is something that's really unique that you don't really get a chance to do at many other schools, especially since Mines is so engineering focused. It's nice to see that the arts are alive and thriving here as well.
Screams a little bit in the way. Hi, if anyone didn't meet me, my name's Incamesis. I'm a current senior here at Mines in chemical engineering. I'm planning on going on to do a master's in biosciences and engineering. I'll be graduating in December. So one thing about Mines is music. You wouldn't think coming to like engineering school that there would be a lot of band geeks, but there are, and it's great. So this picture is actually from the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Dublin, Ireland. They usually do a trip abroad every year, every 2 years. This was spring break, I think 2 or 3 years ago. I didn't personally go, I was sad, but that's okay. They do have a jazz, concert, marching, orchestra, and small ensembles. They also do personal lessons, so I know that you can take it as an elective if you want like, some one-on-one time with an instructor, or just really somewhere to practice. I know that coming here, it was a little bit of a struggle for me to kind of find time to practice. I play flute and I also sing, so along with being in band, like it was nice to have somewhere to go just to practice my instrument that like I could kind of de-stress. That was my way of just kind of letting go of the stress of class. They also have choir, theater, like Daniel was talking about, and then dance. I guess I didn't know about the dance, but that's exciting. And then again, the opportunities to take the music trip abroad. So, y'all have any questions? I'm not sure if anyone else is involved in the music program, but if you have any questions for me?
Good dance.
So I'm Griffin, if we haven't met. I'm a freshman in mathematics, and I'm sorry. I am a freshman in mathematics, focused in biochemistry at Mines, and I am also on the swing and waltz team. So they are performance teams that actually have performances where they go and perform. But the swing team is also competitive, where there is a competition called Intercollegiate Swing Battle, and you have 5 couples and a 6th alternate couple, and they go and compete against all the schools in Colorado. And we won last year, so we're more than just engineers. We're pretty good at dancing, so there's lots of creativity involved in this dancing. And waltz is also impressive. We show off a lot at the little balls that we throw. And we have school-wide dances, and at the beginning of each dance, there is a little lesson where some of the captains, or maybe even the teachers that come in weekly, teach everybody how to dance, and then we dance into the night.
That's awesome.
My name is Armando Campo, and I'm a sophomore here studying computer science. I am also in the dance club, but I do salsa. We don't compete, but it's really cool because they bring actual dance instructors who that's their job. They bring them, and then we just dance every Friday. They give us an hour lesson. Then we practice afterwards, and we go social dancing on Thursday nights. So it's just really cool, even if you don't want to compete. It's just like a fun thing to be able to know how to do. So.
I'm Cindy Martondo. I'm a sophomore in chemical engineering. I'm going to talk a little bit about sports at Mines. So both me and Joe are members of varsity athletics teams. I'm on the softball team. He's on the, yeah. And so not only are we really smart here, but we're really good at sports. So right up at the top is all of the sports so far this year that have won the conference. And then we also offer quite a few other sports with that. But it's just a great way to get out with your friends to go watch those sporting events, especially because we have such good teams and they usually go pretty far each year. And then also just personally for me, being involved in sports, whether it's varsity or club or intramural, it's just a great way to meet people on campus and get involved within your school and just kind of de-stress from everything, take a minute away to be outside and getting some physical activity.
So as she said, my name's Joe. I'm on the track team. Kind of to go off her, I would say just getting involved in something, whether it's athletics or just a club or something, getting your mind off of school is super important here. So for me, that's track, and then getting that group of individuals who are like-minded like you, who you can hang out with, be around, was super important for me. And yeah, athletics. If you're interested in it, you can come talk to one of us. I think we can answer most of your questions.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie Kalin, if you haven't had a chance to meet me yet. I'm a senior in mechanical engineering, so graduating in May, but I will actually be here another year to get my master's in computer science. So that should tell you how much I love this school, that I'm going to be here another year. I wanted to talk a little bit about IM sports with Armando. He'll talk about club sports. But IM sports are super fun here. They're kind of interesting sports. One sport that I did here was called bubble soccer, where they put you into this big bubble, and everybody's in a bubble, and you basically run around hitting each other in these bubbles. So that was really, really interesting. But that's just one example of some of the really fun IM sports that Mines has here, and it's just a really fun way to get yourself off of the whole academic train for a bit. But I'll get into that. Oh, okay. I wasn't going to tell you this one because I wanted to make you guys all wonder what it was, but Chelsea said I should. So Battleship is another one where you get into a boat in the pool at Mines, and everybody's in a boat, and you try and sink everybody's ship. So that is, yeah.
That's very cool.
It's one of the most fun things I've done on this campus.
So I'm also on the club soccer team. That's me up there with my two brothers. But I played soccer my whole life. In coming to school, I knew that I wanted to focus on school, but I didn't necessarily want to spend a lot of my time after school just in sports. So the club scene is a pretty cool thing to go into. We have games against schools all around Colorado, and we play Wyoming. And we also travel to Arizona every year for nationals. So we do pretty well here for soccer. I don't know if anybody likes soccer, but club sports in general are just another good alternative if you're looking to do something like that.
So life and involvement in Mines. My name is Jessie Hyatt. I'm currently a freshman in geophysics. And so this is kind of like the random eclectic stuff that we have at Mines that is really interesting and fun. So Greek life at Mines, currently we have 7 fraternities and 4 sororities. I'm a sorority and Armando is in a fraternity. And so it's not like traditional Greek life. That's really what I've learned is, at Mines it is different. And it's a great kind of support system is what I've found, socially, academically, and it's a great way to kind of get out, get involved.
Yeah, and it's also nice because housing is on campus, so it's super close and you don't need a car. And it's also a really good community because there's upward mobility between years. So chances are somebody has taken the class that you need help with. So it's super nice to be able to just walk 3 doors down and ask them for help after your freshman year when you get out of the dorms.
So this is one of the programs I'm involved with. It's undergraduate student government. I'm currently a freshman representative, so you get elected to that position, and it's really interesting. It's much different than like student government was in high school for me, and it's on that administrative side of things. So we work on housing, food, and parking, and we vote to kind of how that's displayed to the students and how that works. And it's really interesting. You see kind of the policies that are run through academically, and we have control over that. And so for me, it's very refreshing to be able to like make an impact and actually understand the institution I'm attending. And so right here, we have this is our retreat we annually go on. So it was up in Silver Cliff, Colorado, and then we also run tailgates before football games. So as everybody kind of camped out there. And another organization we have is Hike for Help. It's kind of similar to Engineering Without Borders, if you've heard of that. And this is kind of a target organization. So it's founded by a man named Boettcher, and he currently lives in Golden and runs Sherpa House, which has amazing food. But we go and we do service treks in Nepal and go to the Khumbu Valley. So this past winter, I had the opportunity to travel to Nepal. These are all the photos I took of various regions we went to. And you can take a class in accordance with it. And like everyone has said, it's a great breakup to engineering. And you truly get to see the world and expand your mind. And I had never seen a yak before. And like, I think yaks are really cool. And the photo below, like that's Everest in the background. And literally seeing the top of the world. At such a young age and kind of having that opportunity is something Mines has provided me.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about honor societies and service groups. As Boettcher finalists, I'm sure you're all a little bit familiar with these types of things. So something that is really cool about Mines is we have a specific to Mines honor society called Blue Key Honor Society. And what that allows students to do is kind of band together and do service across campus, like help with career fairs, help with football games, things of that nature. I'm not personally involved in that, but I have a lot of friends that are, and it's a really, really cool opportunity to get involved with service on campus. I am personally involved in Tau Beta Pi, which is an engineering honor society, another great way to do service. But just in general, we have several honor societies here on campus that really will allow you to do service and to be involved in that capacity. So we have that here available for all of you.
So I'm a member of the Society of Women Engineers, and we have the largest chapter in the nation, which is really awesome because especially at such a small school, it's really nice to be able to bring together so many women into one place. And we have speakers that come in every week, and we get lunch provided, and you just get to hear a lot about networking, about careers that you can possibly go into, and just meet with a lot of very impactful people who are kind of helping current engineering students get up there. And so especially for the women, but also anyone can join the Society of Women Engineers. It's just a great way to meet people, and especially before career fair, we have a night with industry where you come in and you just get to meet with a lot of the people who are going to be at the career fair.
So you kind of get an extra moment to talk with them before going to the really busy career fair. So it's just a great way to meet with a lot of really passionate people at Mines and network and just, yeah.
Awesome.
So this is the Colorado school I'm personally involved with. And so caving club, we go caving. That's kind of, the extent of it. But we will take trips up Clear Creek, crawl around in holes in the ground, see a lot of dirt. And we've taken trips all throughout Colorado. This past weekend, I went to New Mexico, to El Malpais, and we crawl around in dried out volcanic tubes, which, originally when attending the school, I didn't think I would do anything like that. But it's a nice break from school, and personally as a geophysics major, you can kind of see the applications of what you're learning. And we've worked on research in Jefferson County, kind of mapping caves and providing data points for that. And it's a nice relaxer, just kind of crawling around in the mud. I recommend it.
So E-Days is one of the really fun things that we do here at Mines. I'm sure you guys might have heard about it. Basically, it's a weekend where the school hosts a bunch of events, including the orc cart pull and the boat races, which are featured here. That's me in the orc cart. But I'll elaborate a little bit. So what we do in the orc cart pull is it's tradition to pull an orc cart into Denver. So that's one of the biggest traditions that we have here. And on the right, students make teams and build boats, and then you can race them down Clear Creek. So it's just kind of a fun tradition that we have here, and something the school does for us to give us a weekend. So